Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, September 12th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, Coney, Nvidia, Misty, SMCY, PLTY, and HOOY. All right, got to talk low. Baby's still sleeping. All right, anyway, so Bitcoin looking good, 114. All right, let's hit 115. Last night, when was that? Like 8:50 p.m. Hit 116.2. All right, looking better than usual, right? So anyway, let's get to the trades. Who had trades yesterday? Well, a lot of people. Misty had a lot of trades, right? Can you hear me, guys? Audio check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Thank you, brother AB. If you're on X, because again, we're live on both, right? YouTube and X. If you could let me know if the audio works on X, that would be great. And by the way, if you're in X, there is a live chat. I know, and it should come up on my screen. So if you do have questions and you're watching on X, feel free to type that in as we go. Although typically we cover the Q&A at the end. All right, so let's take a look at Misty. Buy to close. Buy to close. Buy to close. Okay. Buy to close. All right. Simple. What does that mean? It means they paid to close out the covered calls for the week. And you can see the cost is under $1. So obviously that's a good thing, right? Cheap, very cheap to close. They opened some new positions for next week. And in the end, for the day, they generated about 17.2 million in realized income. So let's go to the spreadsheet and take a look at all this fun stuff. All right. So yesterday was September 11th. MSTR went down 0.13%. And look at this. Look at this, broski. I mean, how? It didn't move, bro. It did move. 1538 to 1538. So although the underlying went down 0.13, MSTY did not go down at all. So again, pretty interesting. All right, how about the IV? The IV went from what? 51.48 to 51.43. This morning we are showing 49.33, but the 7-day forward IV, at least that has some hope, and it has a 57.76% IV. All right, so there you go. All right, anything in gray, I did not hide it. Again, confusion this week with the trades, and I wasn't comfortable hiding the data, so just focus on the non-gray items, all right? The clear, the white items. What do we got? Well, let's see here. 2,500 contracts. They paid 37 cents per share to close it. Check this baby out. All right. Hope you guys like it. Profit made column. This is new. I added this for you guys. So what this does is it basically calculates, what is the net profit? So in here, the net profit is 1.1 mil. What was the original credit? Because again, when we sell a covered call, we get a credit in the beginning, right? That goes to cash. It's great. But technically, we didn't earn that, right? We didn't earn that cash, right? Because that debit, right? We get a credit in cash. We get a debit on the covered call, which stays on the balance sheet in the, the outstanding shares. That debit eventually went down to 92.5. That's when they decided to pay to close it. All right. So taking that out of the, netting that against the 1.2, the overall profit for the trade is 1.1 million. And 1.1 million, again, 1.1975, of course, is 92.83% of the original credit. So they made a profit on this trade of 92%. All right. So that's a new field I added, and we can use that going forward if that's something of interest. All right. I'm going to keep going down the line. Here's another one, 37 cents, 41 cents. Again, 3 covered calls here. They closed them out. So you can see, now we know, okay, how much net profit did they generate? 2.6 mil. How much profit percentage was it? 91, and 88. So obviously overall net profit, you know, pretty damn sweet. All right, going down the line, how you doing? Well, what do we got here? Well, look at this. Look at this chunkster. They got 856 credit on this. They only paid 41 cents to close it. So as you can imagine, the profit on this is going to be too sweet. 95. They kept 95% profit. So that was a $3.1 million overall net profit on that. Going down the line, here they paid, again, I'm just going to do a couple in a row, 38 cents, 44 cents, and 33 cents. Scrolling is a problem today. Let's see, where are we at? Here we go. 3.1 mil, 2.7 mil, and 2 mil. All right, so they made about 7.9 million on those three trades. Now, if you look at the profit percentage, 94, 92, and 92. So obviously, you know, good stuff there. All right, let's keep going down the line. That's a call that they bought. Again, this is the insurance play. They didn't need it. So they're not going to get much out of it. They're lucky they got more than a penny. All right, here's buy to close, 50 cents. Look at the credit they made on that, 677 per share. So if you scroll to the right, let me use my mouse. I keep trying to use the touchpad here. They made 92% of it in profit, 1.5 mil in total. So that's pretty good. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so 15. Honestly, I don't even know what the hell this was. 15 contracts. I'm not even going to cover that. But here's 5,000 contracts. 2 cents. Again, 375 strike. MSTR sits at what? 326. So, I mean, I'm sorry. This was a buy call. I should have known. Anyway, let's focus on the 340. They paid 65 cents to close that one. So if we scroll to the right-hand side, how much did they make? 340K, 83% profit. So a little less, but again, 340, a little closer to the price of 326. And they did close it one day early. So do keep that in mind. This is unusual. I mean, whatever, man. I couldn't find the $5,000 covered call for the 345 strike, but I did add the debit that reflected on the trades. And that was kind of the last trade on the sheet for the day. Obviously, they did add new trades, which you'll see here. There's a whole bunch of them. They all expire next week. And we'll cover those on the, you know, the holdings. All right, so let's go over here and see what the outstanding share situation is. More selling out of the fund, 1.4 mil. Outstanding shares decrease. So people are scared. They're still scared of owning Misty. All right, either that or they're, I don't know. I don't know whatever they're doing. I was going to say they're making a profit, but probably not. MSTY, how you doing? Well, they're at 1538. MSTR sits at 326. 30-day IV, 49%. 7-day forward, 57. Outstanding shares, 287 mil. Total net income, 102 mil. Total distribution, 36 cents. Total daily income, 2 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.14%. And if you annualize that, sucker, 49%. All right, makes sense? Good. Now we can move on. Let's go to the MSTR funds tab where all the fun happens, right? So what we do here is we actually track the Bitcoin supply. I've been updating this in the morning, by the way. So the supply, you know, slowly dwindling down and going into circulation, right? Getting closer to that 21 million, but it did, you know, the circulating supply went up 428. All right. So you could see it's kind of, you know, the hundreds, couple hundred here. There's a 1200. That was over the weekend though. So, you know, we'll keep track of that and see where the circulating supply goes. MSTR did not purchase Bitcoin yesterday. I did check that. All right. So again, MSTR price, it went down 0.13%. Misty flat. Winter down, which I don't like that. Or again, MSTR went down. Winter should have gone up a little, right? But it went down 0.73%. Whatever. IMST, same thing as Misty, man. It just stayed flat. Unusual, man. All right, but MST went up 0.2%. MS2 went up 0.41%. MSTW went up 0.03%, but MS2 is the winner. They went up 0.41%. So again, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I mean, I was impressed with Misty, but MS2 going up 0.41%. I mean, damn, good job. Reaction, we need this guy to do something, right? Something good going to happen of MSTR. I know there's a lot of negative reaction of what he's doing with this MNAV this, MNAV that, but you know, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, Group D, when do they declare? It's coming. It's a coming. We could get that under $1 payment soon. 12 days away, September 24th. Speaking of payment information, how's our synthetic doing? Not pretty. Why you got to talk about our synthetic, bro? All right, so how's our weekly income? 102 mil, all right, which comes to 36 cents per share. But let's check out, let's just go to the Rodimeter, it's easier. So right here, we got the weeklies. Again, 36 cents. If they paid that, that would be a 30% yield. So obviously, so far, you know, we can't go based on that. Extrinsic income, which is the basically the money that they make on the beginning trade, excluding any closeout of the trade. That's showing to be 42 cents, which would be a 35% yield. Total income is the price movement in the ETF. Obviously, that's in the negative. We can't use that. And then we look at the IVs, 30-day to 7-day IV. So that's showing, that's what we can use right now, 58 to 68 cents. You know, not ideal, but it is what it is, right? All right, now let's get to the holdings, to M to the S to the T to the Y. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Well, again, they got 5 synthetics. One of them does expire 1 week away. It's a 395, and it does not have much hope because MSTR sits at 326. Obviously, that's pretty damn far. So good luck with that. So Gold Digger, congratulations, you're getting your money. All right, these other suckers, they expire October and November. So you're telling me there's a chance, but we'll see how those go, and we shall go from there. All right, covered calls. What do we got left for the week? Well, they left 2 open, a 335 and a 340, 2.75 and 4.29% out of the money. MSTR, I'm showing it's up 0.76% on the pre-market. So we'll see how it goes, broski. You know, we'll see. All right, what else? That's pretty much it. In red, these are trades for next week. And we'll talk about them more so tomorrow. Synthetic on the paper, not good. But again, let's let it be for now. The value of the Misty fund is 4.4 bill. The NAV is 1538, and the trade price is the same. Synthetic contracts, they total 136,000. Out of them, they're selling calls on 89,000 of them, which is a total of 65%, which means 34% is uncappity-duda, right? Uncappity-duda is the proper term, I believe. So again, good stuff right there, right? Now of the 65% they're selling covered calls on, 13% do have credit call spreads, all right, mainly for this week. So we'll keep an eye on all that fun stuff. All right, so that's the coverage on Misty. Now we're going to get into the other suckers. We're going to start with your boy Conehead. And as you know, if you're a Coney head, you only know one language. I mean, it's Friday, guys. Let's hear the Sorry, that was turning into something else. But anyway, Coin, how you doing? They went up 2.66% yesterday. 2.66? I mean, what? In Tall Nation, Coney, they went up 1.81. So that is a 68% capture. I'm not sure. I'm not sure here. I'm not sure what you're doing, but yeah, whatever. We'll probably cappity-doo-dah. That's why. All right. Anyway, let's look at the synthetics. They got a 300 and a 320. The 320 is the one that expires next month. But don't worry, Coin is above both of them. So this synthetic is looking pretty sweet. All right. What about the covered calls? you know, they do have covered calls that are left over, right? I didn't even look at the trades. What the hell is wrong with me? I need a freaking cone head. Smack me in the head. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. Okay, here we go. You ready? We have, by the way, 316 people online right now. I know it's bright and early. It's hard to find people awake. Sorry for you West Coast people, but if you're here, I do appreciate it. The reason I go live early is I have to do this before work, right? Or else it doesn't happen. So, you know, it is what it is. I can't be doing lives during the freaking stock market open, right? Because if you have a full-time job, unfortunately, full-time jobs are usually open during the stock market, right? So that's everything's against us. But anyway, buy to close. What the hell? 1019, buy to close 1347. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Capity doodah. Capity doodah. They lost about 11.6 mil yesterday, but they, you know, their covered calls got a little blown through, I'd say. Now, for the ones that they left open, which is what we were getting at before, 2% in the money, 0.45% in the money. The only one out of the money is 325, and it's 0.32% out of the money. I mean, is there even a chance? Like, I don't have coin. I guess I could check it real quick for you guys if you guys care. I know most of the chat is talking about intermittent fasting. That is the new fad. So I guess I'll have to make a video just on that. But coin is up 0.67%. So the fact that it's still going up, these covered calls, I mean, they're done. They're done for. So let's just close them suckers out, roll them into next week. Hopefully we get a high enough strike price to capture whatever upside, because coin is on the up and up. You know, it's good stuff though. Now let's take a look here. The value of the fund is 1.3 bill. The NAV. All right, I'm seeing questions. I guess I'll pause for a question. After all, it is my show. By the way, if you guys post a question, I don't see it, please repeat it. This one's from brother. Let me just see what it is. Question: is the Thinkorswim interface easier, more user-friendly than the regular? Yes. Oh, hell yeah. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me pause. When you get used to it, yes. Hell yes. Obviously, doing options directly on the website, it's gonna be easier to read and understand. If you have never used the Thinkorswim application, it's going to be a lot to handle, right? It is a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's once you get used to it, you'll get what I'm saying. You can't go back onto anything else. It's just a beautiful platform. The interface, it's always live. Like you use the app on the phone, like your watch list, it's blinking, it's live. Like the data is always live. So I don't know. I love it. Maybe it's just me, but once you get used to it, of course. All right. Sorry. Resuming our program. The Coney ETF, what does it say? 717 trade price, same thing. All right. Synthetic bailout, they're up. They're at like 31 cents per share. By the way, I did get a comment yesterday, and I remembered for once. This is very highly unusual that I actually remember. But they did ask, can you add this, you know, because they figured I don't have enough work, I guess. So can you add the synthetic contracts and the covered call percentage on all the other funds? And, you know, like the dumbass I am, I said yes. And here I am doing it. And sure enough, Coney, it's 100% on everything. So every single synthetic has a covered call. Every single covered call is a credit call spread. They have a long call attached to it. So they got insurance on all of it. So that's for Coney. Okay. I don't know if you like that, Mr. Coney heads, but let me know via. All right. 30-day IV. What are you doing? 51%, 7-day forward, 64. All right. That's pretty sweet. Coney declares next week, guys. There's no income estimate. And, you know, obviously the ETF price is low. The IV is blah. So you're looking at, you know, this could be a low payment. It's a low price fund, though. So 29 to 35 cents. You know, it's still a good yield, obviously. But again, we'll see. Sunday morning, we'll have the estimate, the true estimate then. All right, up next is your boy. Hooey, hooey. There it is. All right, buy to close, 12 cents. Okay, pretty simple. All right, so they closed out a trade and they opened a new one for next week. Simple, right? Paid 30,000, got 10,000 on the bought call. So in the end, they only had to pay 20,000. All right, new trade. They made 535,000 credit, but again, they had to debit out 175, making 360,000 in the process. $340,000 realized gain for the day. Chico. Okay, Chico. All right, let's get to the file. All right, Robinhood yesterday, they went up a 0.25%. Good job, buddy. And HOOY actually beat it by 0.01%. So that's a hell of a capture. I'll take it. All right, how about their synthetic? They got a 105 synthetic. The underlying Robinhood is at 117. The synthetic expires next month, but man, oh man, great spot to be in. Again, this sucker got added to the S&P, bro. They're big time now. They're legit. They're legit. I mean, they've been legit, really. So, all right, covered calls that expire today. Again, black font would be, black font blue, covered calls expiring today. 1.277% out of the money. Are these safe? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll just have to track it. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be close, that's for sure. I'd check the pre-market if I wasn't lazy. What's the value of the fund? 236 mil. What's the NAV? 68.68. What's the trade price? 68.82. Close enough. All right. The synthetic on paper is worth 7.85 per share. I mean, that's amazing. And just like Coney, again, all their synthetics have covered calls. All their covered calls doing a credit call spread. All right. 30-day IV of Robinhood 57, 7-day forwards looking pretty sweet at 70%. So IV estimate, which by the way, it's coming up. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's coming up next week. Are we making bank, bro? I don't know, but the IV shows 302 to 370. The income estimate's in the negative, so we don't know. We don't know. We got to talk about it. We got to think about it. And we got some time, right? All right, that's the coverage on HOOY. Now we got to talk about Nvidia. All right, do we care about Nvidia still? Are they the goat of the goats? Who owns Nvidia? Anyone? Anyone in the chat? Anyone paying attention? You must pay attention. All right, anyway, buy to close put. What are you doing? All right, so they're closing out the 170 synthetic, and then they're closing out a call. All right, it looks like a forced closure. Maybe people sold out of the fund. But their synthetic was in a good spot, so they made money in the process, and then they closed a covered call. For whatever reason, the stock price is not working, but again, who cares? Whatever. In the end, they lost about 1.6 mil for the day. Hey, Bandsman answered. There you go. All right. R2 Droid Builder answered. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to the trades on Nvidia. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat if you guys have questions. Remember, if you have a question, you have to type in the word question and then ask the question. Hopefully it's relevant to the current topic, right? If it's about options, let's save it to the end when I do my options coverage. It's about YieldMax, fine. I'll pull it up now. How's that sound? Good? All right, anyway. Nvidia, they went down 0.09%. Nvidia went down 3.96%. Well, why did that happen, sir? Well, yesterday was X-dividend day, and on X-dividend day, the fund will drop by the amount of the distribution plus or minus the movement in the underlying stock. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everyone? Again, they make money, they pay money. They make money, they pay money. The money has to come from somewhere, so it comes from the cash, right? When they sell, when they get options premium, where does that money go? The cash. When they pay you the options premium, where does that money come from? The cash, right? It's pretty simple. I think so. Anyway, how's Nvidia doing? Well, Nvidia's at 177. We got two covered calls, 165 and 170. They both expire in November, though. So is it even worth talking about? They're in a good spot, that's for sure. All right, covered calls that expire today. They got two. One's in the money, one's barely out of the money. So it's going to be a close one. If I look at my NVDL, NVDL is up 0.29%. NVDL is double leverage Nvidia. So Nvidia is slightly green in the pre-market. Now, what else? What else we got going here? Nothing, man. It's just going to be a close race to the end. They got some trades for next week, which we'll keep an eye out and we'll talk about tomorrow on tomorrow's video. Now, all right, the value of the Nvidia fund is 1.8 bill. The NAV is 16.19. Trade price 16.18. Synthetic on paper, you know, very valuable, $1.06. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, same thing for Nvidia, man. All the synthetics have covered calls, all the covered calls and kind of calls, man. I know, lame-o, boring. All right, 30-day IV, 32%. 7-day forward, basically the same. So, again, they just paid, but the IV estimate sits at 40 cents. I didn't update the income estimate yet, but I will. All right, PLTY, your turn, baby. Let's go. I don't think they had many trades. There you go. Buy, call, sell, put, sell, call, buy, call. 4 transactions. At new money coming into the fund. They're adding it to the synthetic 160. They're selling the covered call for next week. That's pretty much it. You know, again, nothing crazy here. How did Palunteer do yesterday? They went down 1.45%. Is that good or is that bad? Well, it is what it is, right? That's it. PLTY went down more, obviously, you know, because again, I'm not going to do the funny voice, but it was X-dividend date, so they went down 5.38%. All right. All right. Now, anyway, what's their synthetic doing? Well, it's a 160. It expires again in November. Freaking 2 months away, right? Why are we talking about it? But Palunteer is at 164, so they're already priced above it, so that's pretty good. Again, PLTY fund manager, yeah, he's just chilling, man. He's got nothing going on for this week. All of his trades expire next week. That's why he got the red font, right? 919. So nothing to do. Should be no trades for PLTY today, really. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye. All right. The value of the PLTY fund sits at 656 mil. The NAV is 60.26. The trade price, same, well, 60.19. Synthetic already worth 212 per share. That's pretty good. Synthetic contracts, again, same as the others. All their synthetic has a covered call attached to it. All right. And then all their covered calls do have credit call spreads. All right. Sorry to keep it lame-o, but that's what it is. I'll keep tracking it. But if it's the same crap over and over, we may have to just get rid of it already. All right. Anyway, 30-day IV is 47. 7-day forward is 44. Again, that's for the underlying Palunteer. It's kind of, I guess, you know, well, some wouldn't call that low. I call it kind of low. The IV estimate is anywhere from 207 to 218. Income estimate, this is probably not the right field. I thought they were doing Group B. Yeah, it's not. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'm not up. You could see PLTY did make a lot of money. So again, I update that when the new cycle comes. I don't update it till the Saturday. So I'll update that tomorrow morning. But Group D will declare again in 26 days. All right. Up next is your boy SMCY. But why? We the suckers, right? We are the suckers. Let's see how they did yesterday. Let's see what went on. Look at the salty trades. Oh, man. Poor ETF inspector. Oh, man. What the hell am I looking for? I don't even remember what I'm doing. I didn't pass it. All right. They didn't have a trade. Good. Good. Give me a break, bro. Good. All right. SMCI, they went up 0.09%. SMCY went up more. Wow. It went up 0.33%. So not bad, man. All right, synthetic, what do we got? We got a $40 synthetic. It expires in 2 months, but SMCI sits at 43, so it's valuable, that's for sure. Now, what's going on here? The black font, again, if I have red font, those expire the following week. Always just keep that in mind because I'm not going to mention it over and 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 over. All right, so this is the one that expires today. It's in the money already. It's in the freaking money already. Is this safe? I don't know, bro. If I look at SMCX, holy crap. You know what? I got to pull a pre-market. SMCI is blowing up. What the hell happened? Yeah, well, sir, you are up 5.67%. That's interesting. Top stories on Super Micro Computer. Super Micro stock is getting an Nvidia bump. Here's the latest update. you probably click on it and you can't get to it anyway. So why bother? But anyway, they're up 5.67%. Interesting. So this call is a goner. These calls, well, they expire next week. I ain't going to say nothing. But this one, they're going to lose their you know what. And there's no credit call spread to save them. So that's going to be just a capity doodah. All right, the value of this fund is 325 mil. The NAV is 1515, and the trade price is 1514. Synthetic on paper is worth about $1.50. Oh, here we go. We got some little thinking, a little difference here. As I just said, the covered calls that expire today do not have a credit call spread, a butt buddy, a buy call attached to it. So the total synthetic contracts total 74,000. The total they're selling calls on, same thing, 100% of it. However, they're only having credit call spread total on, about 80% of the total, calls being sold. Obviously, those are the ones that are expiring today. Okay, 30-day IV, 56%. Hello, that's a beauty. This is not. This is the 7-day forward. It's showing down, 29.11%. But in their income estimate, it looks like suckety do that. I'm assuming that's updated. But Group D declares in 12 days anyway, so they got time. They got time to make some money, but it doesn't look good. You know what? I guess I'm going to have to check this since it's, yeah, man, not looking good for SMCY or Misty for that matter. All right, so that's the coverage on SMCY. Now, the last covered call ETF is T for TSLY. All right, so let's see if they had a trade. Yes, they did. They had many. All right, they had many trades. What are we doing? What are we doing? Buy to close, 8.19. Yeah, that's not good. Buy to close. Oh, that's good. 23 cents. I can deal with that. 6.36. Not so much. 7.99. Not so much. Yeah, they got capity doodah. They got whooped. They got whooped. But Tesla, Tesla went up yesterday. It went up a decent amount. And here it is. Tesla went up 5.7%. I mean, that's a 1 day. 1 day, it went up 5.7%. TSLY, come on, what'd you do? TSLY captured 4.11. That's actually not bad on a 5.7% update. 4.11, 72% upside. And they were pretty much capped from what I remember. But anyway, let's take a look. For their synthetic, let's see. Their synthetics both expire in November. But they have a 335 and a 340. Look at Tesla, man. It's at 368. So these synthetics are already making bank. But the covered calls for today, wow, they actually still have one out of the money. 370 still out of the money. TSLL, if I look at the pre-market, Tesla's up about 0.5% or so. So, I mean, these both might be goners. This one's probably definitely goners, 1.71% in the money. But, again, it's early. Anything can happen. The market can flip red. I feel like Friday's usually red, but we'll see. We'll see. The market's been so freaking green. I wanted to stop. And I'll show you that when I get to my options trades, because I'm slowly converting to cash because, again, covered calls are going to be getting assigned and, capity doodah on my own account. So anyway, let's focus on TSLY. The value of TSLY is 1.1 billion. The NAV is 802, trade price 803. Their synthetic is worth 76 cents per share. That's pretty good. Now, total synthetic contracts they have is 31,458. They're selling calls on 95%. So they're leaving 5% on capity doodah, which is good. However, not enough. Tesla's been mooning lately, man. The thing's unstoppable. And then of that 29,000 covered calls, 100% of them do have credit call spread, butt buddy, buy call, long call, whatever insurance play attached to it in case it gets capity doodah. All right, makes sense. Good. 30-day IV 49%, 7-day forward 51. So based on the IV, simply they're looking at a 31 to 32 cent estimate. And here comes the garbage man. Can you hear him? All right. So and yes, the garbage is out. Income estimate 88 cents. And Group A declares in 19 days. Do we care? Maybe not. All right. SLTY, ULTY. I need a water and coffee break. What's going on in the chat? All right. Good morning to everyone. 513 of you so far. All right, SLTY had trades yesterday. Again, all we do with SLTY and ULTY, we just look at income and outgo per holding. That's it. Because who got time? Anybody got time for that? But SLTY made money yesterday. Every single trade made money yesterday, right? Tempest, GitLab, Circle, Bitmine, Bloom, 396,000. So I'll take it. SLTY, good job. Let's check out ULTY. ULTY overall lost money, and it was due to Oklo. Their covered calls got blown through clearly. Rocket Lab, same thing. IONQ, same thing. Who made money? Affirm. Strategy, little bit. Palo Alto, my favorite word, not. And Tesla made money. But overall, they lost about 21 mil. Hey, it is what it is. You know, there's good days and there's bad days. All right, nowadays, what is ULTY holding? They got some Webull. They got some Coinbase. They got some Robin the Hood, Strategy, Oklo. They always have Oklo. Rigetti. You know, they got some high IVs. Who's the lowest? Let's see the lowest here. 47. Is 47 the lowest? First Solar and Palunteer, the lowest. All right, but their average IV is 66%. You know, it should average 80, right? 80? We want 80% yield? I don't know. ULTY, the value of the fund is $3 billion. And the change in trade price, again, X-dividend date was for ULTY too yesterday. And they declared what, 9 cents? Yeah, 9 cents. And they dropped 8. So obviously they went up a penny. So that's good. But whatever. Compared to WPay went up 9 cents. Went up 0.17%. I don't know when their X date is for WPay. I don't even know why we're comparing it to WPay, to be honest. That's your guys' fault. But whatever. Let's look at the freaking SLTY holdings. Do we care? Bitmine, Bloom. They got a lot of high IVs. Circle. This freaking RH, man. All right, whatever. A SLTY fund it's a $12.5 million fund. There you go. Their IV average is pretty sweet, 79%. SLTY, again, they had X-dividend date too, so they went down obviously a lot. YQQ went down. YQQQ went down too. All right, so that's the coverage on all the YieldMax stuff, if that makes sense. Now we're going to go to my options. All right. So again, someone asked me yesterday, can you show us what funds you own? But what I talk about in my options account is my whole account. This account is called the Retire Now account. It used to be mainly high yielders, and over the years, I've slowly turned it into a options trading account. Although, yes, I do own Misty in it, but I do own it through options. Like every single share of Misty I own is through an assigned put. And yes, I was selling puts at 33, 27, 25, you know, and it's gone down since. So obviously my cost basis is a little suckety doodah. But, you know, the average with distributions and, you know, premium, the average cost basis is actually 1651, which makes me feel a little better. But again, Misty's been, you know, it's having a rough go. MSTR is having a rough go, and hopefully it will recover. That doesn't mean I won't sell covered calls. I always say that, you know, I don't care. I'll sell puts here. I'll sell covered calls here. We'll see. We'll see. But right now I got nothing pending. FYI. TSLL, again, what was yesterday? The 11th. So you may recall I sold an aggressive put. I believe this was on Monday. All right. Now this put, if I take this date out, this put expired on October 10th, which was 32 days away. Okay. 32 days. That's long. Now I closed it in 3. All right. And I'll show you why I did that. I made originally $1.25 per share when I opened it. The value of this same put 3 days later was 81 cents. What does that mean? That means I can pay 81 cents to close it. So that's what I did. I did a buy to close, and I paid 81 cents to close this put that was going to be open for over 30 days. So I kept 35% of the profit within what? A fraction of the days, right? That again, 3 days I made it out of the 33 or whatever the heck it was, right? So that's why I closed it. And if you look at my annualized yield for putting up $1,300 for 3 days, I made 44, which is a 284% yield. All right. Actually didn't update this. This is a buy to close. So I closed out the position and I got my 1,300 back. Again, that was in pending puts. Now it's available cash. And I could do whatever the hell I want with it. All right. The others, I haven't done anything. These are all open. And we could talk about them when I get to the open positions. TNA, let's see. I did a rolling order. Now, if you look here, TNA, it's crazy. TNA is nuts. It closed at 44. I have a freaking $42 strike price on a call. I was going to let it be and wait until today, but I'm like, you know what? There's no way it's going under 42, right? So what I did, I didn't want to risk assignment, letting it go one more day. So I did a rolling order. A rolling order is a buy to close and a sell to open. So I did a buy to close on this call and a sell to open here. So the buy to close cost me $269. The sell to open gave me a credit of $334. So I made 65 cents per share in rolling it another week, right? Essentially 8 days, right? 8 days out. I left the same strike, 42. So that gave me an annualized yield of 66%. All right, 66%. Now, what else? Well, I did. I sold a put on the 10th on TNA. Okay, TNA was a little. It was a $35 put. And again, if I take out the date, what was the time frame? 37 days. So that's a long time I have to wait to get my money back, right? But I closed it in 1. Why did I close it in 1? Well, again, I sold the put for $1. The next day, the same freaking trade is worth 69 cents. So I paid that 69 cents. I made 31% of the total premium that I was originally given in 1 day. Again, the original expiration date was 37 days. So to me, that's a no-brainer to cash that out. Cash that baby out. Get my $3,500 back, and I get 31% of the profit. All right? Again, it's just everyone's different on how you treat those things. But let me know your thoughts, on some of these trades. All right. So again, that's 2 transactions yesterday, rolling order and a buy to close. All right. Makes sense? Good. So where does that leave us? Well, again, I still have, I can't do any covered calls on TNA or TSLL, but let me just cover the weekly income. I'm actually down now because I did pay to close more than the credits that I got. So I'm only at 210. I need to make 231 to reach my goal. To be honest, I'm probably not going to make it, but I'm not going to force anything, but we'll see. We'll see what today brings though. All right. So TSLL, I have 9 contracts now. None expire today, 2 next week, 5 the week after, and then 2 the week after that. Mostly covered calls. Again, to be honest, every time I sell a put, I buy to close it because TSLL keeps going up. These puts, 10 and 11, I haven't closed these because they're not cheap enough to close. They've been open a while, so maybe if they, cost under 5 cents, we'll think about it. But yeah, we'll see, bro. We'll see. I do have a covered call that's way in the money that expires next week, 25% in the money in fact. So when it gets to this bad, what I usually do is I roll it early. I could roll it today just to avoid assignment for next week, and I'll roll it after this 10-3. So I'll choose like a 10-10 date, right? And I'll see if I can get a decent premium. If I can't get a decent premium, I'll probably let these shares go. But we'll see. And then if I scroll over to TNA, I have 5 contracts open with them, 4 puts and 1 covered call. So again, TNA's, they've been going up too, man. It's tough. It's really tough. Market's green, which is great, but you need it to go both directions as an option seller. We can't have one direction. We need it to go, come down a little, bro. Come down a little. But is what it is. All right, now I'm going to update the balance, and then we'll catch up on the comments, and then we'll get our asses to work. Sound good? Great. All right, guys and gap. All right, so my balance is 55,208. So it went up. 55,208.27. Available cash 32,537.77. Okay, now pending puts. This is where the change is going to be because I did close 2 puts yesterday. 16,100. So that decreased a lot. So now my actual cash is 16,437, 29% of the total portfolio. All right. It's a good number. I mean, it could be, should it be more? Maybe. I don't know. Is the market ever going to come down? Who the hell knows? All right. What's my margin now? 26,966.89. And then I have trading margin, which is always higher. Again, this is for trading only, not withdrawing. But as you know, I do withdraw from this account because it's a bill pay account. So it's the same thing, right? Bill pay, withdraw, whatever. So money does come out of the account, and that's why my margin number is 26,000. Okay, makes sense. Great. All right, it's coffee break. What's going on in the chat? Oh, gotta put the music on while we chit chat away. And pop. And pop. All right. So still talking about fasting here. All right, guys, what we got here? Oh, Sunita has a Misty Mafia magnet. Sweet. Thank you for buying that. Cricket. I should, just to see if anyone buys it. All right, what do we got? Just catching up on the comments. Scroll up. How about you retype the question? Scroll up to what? You guys are yapping. Is this a question? Shall we hold Misty? If you want, sure. Who the hell am I to tell you to hold Misty, right? Do you believe in Bitcoin? Do you believe in MSTR? Do you believe in Michael Saylor? Do you believe in YieldMax? Do you believe in covered call ETFs? That should answer your question, right? All right. We got any questions? Is brother going to retype his question, or do I have to go scrolling? Why are we talking about Roddy merch? Is that the hot topic lately? We're gonna buy shirts with crickets on it. All right. So, speaking of merch, you guys got to buy LA merch too. You know, he does have merch. Probably a lot. I think it's a lot more than me. I gotta get with it. I need someone to do the freaking merch for me. I don't got time for this crap. I really don't. 10 a.m. The options session tomorrow is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I sent the meeting out to all the wheel warriors, and I did send the extra invite out to the people who were originally interested, I believe, in coaching. So I decided to do, this was the original first group session. I didn't even know I'd have wheel warriors so in advance. It was like kind of like a test period. But this has the already entered wheel warriors who they already had a session, and the pilot for the other people who, you know, are not yet wheel warriors but have I guess we'll call it a free sample. So the free samples are booked up. So if you want to join that session, you have to join Wheel Warriors. Rod, do you chase stocks that you lost money on? Well, I'm just doing options. So, you know, the conversation is a little different. So, do I chase lowering my cost basis? Absolutely, right? Look at TNA, for example. I sold a put in January 10th, $42 strike. At the time, it seemed like a good idea. And then TNA, it went down in the 20s. So I got assigned at 42, 41, 40, 34, 38, as low as 20, you know. So was I chasing? I don't know if that's the term you want to use. I was lowering my cost basis. I was selling puts at a lower and lower cost basis until I got to, we'll say now it's a 35, 46 cost basis. So it started at 42, got it lowered to 35. TNA is now at 44. So did I chase and lower my cost basis? Sure. Yes. I'm not a trader though, so I'm not chasing like buying stocks. I'm just an options guy, right? A wheel warrior, as they say. So hopefully that made sense. Roddy, does anyone know like a merch guy that needs business? Maybe I'll just go through like that. Is there like an average Joe shop that needs the business? Or should I just use one of the main websites? Roddy, merch is my fault. Catch a whale with a cricket. It's a good line though. Yeah. Yeah, LA is his own biggest fan. He buys all of his merchandise. That company's making a killing on LA. It is pretty funny. All right, I think he retyped it. Question from Brother AB. Hypothetically, if I think Misty is declining and pays 80 cents, does selling calls at 14.50 on 9.26 makes sense? Not financial advice, huh? Is it ever financial advice? When's the freaking X date? Or next X date is what, 9/21? So if you think it pays 80 cents, you think, what is Misty at? 14. Yeah, I mean, so if you sell a call for the next X date is what? 9/20. Next is next? No, is the next X date 9/21? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But does it make sense to sell calls at what? 14.50 because you think it's going to drop by the amount of the distribution? I mean, that's risky. You could get assigned early because that's what I'm hearing. It hasn't happened to me, but a lot of people say when they do go that close leading up to the dividend distribution week, they do get assigned early. The shares get called away and they don't even get the distribution. But yeah, if you sell in the money like that, you know, that's the risk. Of course, you know, you have the risk that of what if MSTR goes up, right? But if MSTR goes down, Misty goes down, obviously you're okay. What I'm doing, I'm doing basically like Misty's at 15.38. I'd probably do a 16 to be safe, right? Yeah, 14.50 would probably pay a hell of a lot more, but to me, I mean, it's just not worth it to me. So I'd rather do the $16 range personally if I was going to do it. I know you go like 17, it's not worth it. Unfortunately, the premium's not there. The higher you go, I'd love to do 17. I'd love to do 18. I'd love to do 19, but it's not going to pay you a good premium. I don't know if that helped you, brother. AMZ might be stronger soon. Amazon just released their fully autonomous vehicle. Oh, wow. Jeez. These poor people are going to be out of freaking work. Sucks, man. I see these Amazon. Well, everyone drives their own car now for Amazon. But, man, these people hustle. I love it, man. I appreciate it. I love the hustle. LA, I'll see you later. brother, I'm thinking of exiting half my position and want to, yeah, then go for it, man. Go for it. I would do at the money, though. At the money or the strike price above. That's just me personally. But what the hell do I know? Let me know what strikes you pick, by the way. Carlos, we buy YieldMax, but if we're down, would you keep buying it to try to recover? I know you do options, and that's different. Again, it depends which fund. Is it based on an individual underlying? Do you believe in the underlying? Again, some of these, again, I'm not like Tesla, for example. I would say Tesla's the worst because Tesla, you saw a 5% day. Their IV is never 100%. Their IV is never 80%, right? Maybe at earnings sometimes it gets close, but I feel like their IV should be much higher on these freaking random moves, right? The thing moves like crazy, so I would never do Tesla based on the strategy that they have. You know, some of these safer ones, like Misty, even Misty, man, like their IV is dropped. It sucks, it really does, but MSTR really hasn't moved. So it's honestly justified, but like AMZ, Nvidia, these freaking funds are awesome because the IV of the underlying, it just doesn't move. So it depends, like which one are you down on, Carlos? Let me know which one you're down on. Question: where can I download your spreadsheet? On the in the Discord under the spreadsheets channel. Gart Joe. Okay. Sunita says, yeah, me too, brother. Keeping my Misty so I can learn trading options with Rod with the Misty shares. I have 1,500 and might as well make money while exiting. Selling calls on YieldMax is dangerous. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it's not worth it on a lot of their ETFs, to be honest. It's not. Misty's the only one I've seen maybe worth it, but you got to sell close to the money, which I guess, it's risky, or maybe quote unquote dangerous, right? For this Saturday, do you have the link? Saved in my phone calendar, but don't see a link. I put it in, actually just email me, Nikki. Email me, Nikki. I'll send it to you. Correct. PLTY or Marrow? I hear good. I mean, PLTY. You're down on PLTY. I mean, PLTY's doing well. And Palunteer supposedly the future. I don't know enough about Palunteer, but everyone talks so highly of it. And Mara, I should say, becoming a Bitcoin treasury company. They're a Bitcoin mining company. I mean, if you're a Bitcoin believer, then again, it depends on how you feel about the underlying. Thank you for being here, Pro Fast Guy. Thank you for the kind words. Amazon car delivery packages. Wolf says, I'm not selling Misty yet. Hopefully we'll be paid by February sooner if the IV goes up. Yeah, hopefully MSTR goes up, man. Remember, they were just 400 not that long ago, right? And Bitcoin's chilling, MSTR's chilling. It's all just chilling. Everyone, hopefully, Misty could go back to 20. I know it won't be easy to go back to 20, but it's not impossible. That's for sure. Morning, your thoughts on Ulti from C4 Charlie. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Ulti, but I'm also a degenerate, options trader. I like the high implied volatility trades, and I like being in a fund where we have professionals trading the high implied volatility stocks, and paying us out weekly in doing so. I just think, I don't know. I think it's an awesome fund, right? But I'm the one, I trade options myself too, but they trade some funds that, maybe I don't have the balls to, or maybe I don't trust myself to. So I just rather them play around with it and do it. So I'm currently a fan of Ulti. MSTR may go down to 250 before it rockets back to 440. Yeah, that would suck, but probably so. You never know, man. Amazon looking into package delivery via robots. Good God. Just freaking nuts. Wow. All right. We have 672 of you. It's about time to get our asses to work. Wolf says Sailor keeps hitting the ATM, selling preferred stocks and diluting the company's income. Charlie says, cool, thank you. I'm keeping my Ulti and Misty till the death, Richard says. Good for you, Richard. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ulti. I'm a big fan of Misty, too. Again, it's just still, 15's not the end of the world, right? You know, they've been to 17 before. They've gone back up to 40s. It's just Bitcoin and MSTR. It's just chilling, bro. It's just chilling. Chilling like we are. All right, guys. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow. We'll try again, and we'll see. If you enjoy this content, you want to help out the channel, obviously you can hit the like button. It's a thumbs up on YouTube. It's a heart on X. And you could repost it on X, repost it on YouTube. And obviously that helps the organic growth. And tell your friends, tell your coworkers. All right, what else? That's it, man. That's it. We got to get out of here. We got to call it a day. But if you made it this far in the video, guys, and you want to prove it, it's keyword time. I need your help with the keyword. All right. So what's the keyword today? Is anyone still here? Anyone awake? Come on, what do we got? What we got, Cletus? Come on, Cletus. Come on. All right, what we got? Nothing. I got nothing too, man. I'm just blah. Have a good weekend. That's not a keyword, but thanks, you too. Roddy. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently Roddy merch was the thing in the chat, but I missed it. So we'll just go with it. I'll go with it. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the freaking keyword. The keyword today is Roddy merch. What the hell is Roddy? Roddy's the cricket. You know, as you know, on the early morning days, I do pre-record in my garage especially now during this season. Roddy the cricket is there and he makes noise the whole time, and he's part of the video. People have gotten used to that over the years. So I guess people want merch with the cricket on it. So maybe we'll look into that. All right, I'm out of here. But if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in X, you got to type in YouTube, Roddy merch. And then we know you made it through this freaking long ass video. And you deserve the credit, by the way. You deserve the full credit. So thank you all for being here. And I hope everyone has a great day. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.